just maybe people back home or something. But she found her way here, and there you go. She's making a name for herself right there with that RBI single.
5-3 now. It's just very similar. It took a weird hop on the infield and nothing that Reeves could do about it. Unfortunate turn of events there as the runs continue to pile on for the Waves. Still just the one out as well, Zuby, here in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, they are just continuing to attack right now. Zapata is leaving a ton of strikes over the plate, and I mean, the only issue is just they're not finding gloves. She's not getting the strikeout stuff, but she is also not finding any gloves.
Wow. A few inches to the right, and we've got 2 runs coming across because that ball was buried deep in the corner, and it got wedged up in there as well. Although somebody should probably close that fence down there, as doing just that for the Crush is Ashley Long. Or as we would have had an unfortunate ground rule double that would have kept it as just 1 run. Change up there, it's at the feet. Nobody will move there. A rarity this inning as no runners taking a free 60.
And didn't get that far away from Verdugo, so not going to try to test her.
Garcia takes outside. Garcia from Folsom. Now at Utah State. But you got to say, Utah State, one of the best places, one of the more underrated places in this country for atmospheres, for a sporting environment. They take their athletics very seriously, and I got to tell you, you got to watch out for Utah State. Got to watch out for that change up there, though, as well. Does Garcia.
And Zapata finally getting something working out for her is that nice changeup that she keeps on bringing in her back pocket. It's a good setup pitch to have, but it's also a good put-away pitch if you can just find the right time to throw it.
So do you think for Zapata the adjustment has to be her sequencing in terms of when she attacks early? Is this ball's going to be skied up? So I guess she found a recipe for success that was good enough. 3rd out of the inning, but not before. 3 runs come across. It's 6-3 after 2 here at Vanguard University. Top of the 3rd. In a 6-3 ball game, the Waves are on top of the Crush. The Crush need to respond. They put up 3 runs to themselves in the top of the 1st. Were blanked after a very efficient inning from Petty. Did have the 1 run get left stranded at second, but it did exactly that. It was left stranded. Nobody coming across for the Crush. They got to get that offense reignited here, especially considering how the Waves are really rocking and rolling. Big delivery there, getting every bit of her shoulder into that throw. It's a walk for the crush here from Alyssa Detlefson. Avery Cordell, who reached herself back in the first inning, will have her second go at Petty. Really good spots, and everyone in the ballpark is a tad confused. I gotta say, from our vantage point, it looked pretty good from here.
A bit of an issue. Tapia set up on the inside part of the play and has to go reach out and get that one to make it look good. So it's just a bit of a cross-up.
They let the runner go, and so it's another runner in scoring position, making it every single inning that the Crush have had someone on at least second. Petty laced into center field, and it will drop. They're going to throw to 3. The throw is airmailed into the chain link fence, and so it'll be a single, and advancing on the throw goes Cordell. Very interesting play there as you saw some of the minute details as Detlefson got caught leaning back. She thought it was going to be a catch and tag situation, but she let it drop, and now we've got runners on second and third.
Yeah, and I get the idea you want to let that drop in front of you, but I mean, I'm not fully sure on going when you were about to it looked like you were about to tag up and thinking you can go to third, because I mean, a good throw, you're out. So I mean, you kind of get lucky with the throw, but it's kind of a bit of a miscue that still went your way.
Yeah, Foreman, she certainly showed off her cannon there. A little bit too much of it, though. She went sailing to the 7 seas up high. Johnson, though, in the here and now. Rocking 0-0 for the Crush. Misses once more. And again, we see Petty. She had a 5-pitch walk to Johnson earlier. See if she does so again. It's a very similar sequencing. They're really dancing around Johnson. That was a really good pitch.
You just got to change a little bit right now just to get back into the zone.
Gray's back, and it's a good batter. Ooh, man, watch out. Johnson is ricochets off the fence and back onto her noggin.
Sounds about right for our fence.
Very short backstop here. Makes those plays a lot more frequent than you would see at other places. You think of a place like Concordia University of Irvine. They have one of the deepest backstops I've seen. Checks there as it starts in on above her hands, and it finishes there as well. So we will now load the bases, and it's more trouble for Petty, and still nobody out.
And still just trying to figure out what can work for them. I mean, it's becoming a bit of an issue. Petty seems to kind of not have a certain spot to what works for her. They're hitting it outside, they're hitting it up, they're hitting it low. I mean, they haven't really gone to inside, but could be an idea to go to.
And it's going to be muffed by the shortstop there. It's going to score 1 run. Everyone else will hold. It's an error for the Waves, and that's one where we were seeing that a lot ourselves throughout this last season. A lot of our middle infielders were trying to turn 2 before the ball was in their glove.
Yeah, you definitely got to see that all the way into the glove, otherwise you're going to have mistakes like that.
Still nobody out. Bases juiced. This is why we got Emma Foster for the second time today. Cordell at third, Johnson at second. And long at first for the Crush. Word of re-encouragement there from her second baseman. Miss Petty, she had a really good second inning, Zuby. Faced a very low number of batters after a high usage first inning, but it's looking a lot like the first 3 outs of the contest, and it's going to be another RBI for the Crush. Johnson will get a stop sign, and man, oh man, Crush are crushing right back.
Yeah, and it kind of looked like Petty was starting to settle down and really understood what these pitchers are doing, or excuse me, what these hitters are doing. But, I mean, Crush turning it right back, understanding what Petty's doing, and coming right after her with a plan of attack to score some runs.
6-5 now in favor of the Waves still. Tall task to limit the damage further, obviously, considering the sac fly is still in play ×2 with the nobody out. Kayla McGee trying to do just that and keep the party going for the Crush. Goes a little bowling there. She's behind in the count once more. Pushed over to shorts. This one is redemption. They get at least one. Yes, they do get 2, but it does score another run. Johnson is there. Only the runner on third as she thought about testing maybe the lackadaisical movement back to the circle, but it will be a hold there for Ashley Long. 2 away though, and it's now tied once more at 6. Good off speed. A 1. Got to feel really good, though, you know, for the shortstop there for the Waves. And Alfano getting her immediate redemption. Miscue there by Petty. The throw to first is in time. Man, oh man, I thought it was going to be Petty's ball. She dropped the glove down, and then it kicked a weird piece of dirt, and it maneuvered over to Alfano. She still had her pitcher's back.
Yeah, still doing a nice play just to get out of there, especially a tough play in order to get that last out, but man, it is worth it.
3 runs come across. We're tied at 6 going to the bottom. Same situation as before. Foreman to lead us off in the bottom of the third. J.J. Johnson alongside my partner as usual, Xander Zubiotti. Inside out swing, and it's going to be held up, but it is still going to be a catch made out in right field by Alyssa Detlefson. One away quickly.
This is what Zapata needs, especially that first out. Getting it quickly is a good job for her, and now she's just got to bear down and hopefully get another 2 quick and clean outs.
Mrs. Elevated on Savannah Gatewood. Gatewood's been pretty good getting on so far today. She's been pulling to the last time up. She pulled to the left side. And once more she pulls, but just fouls. She had the right foot in foul territory.
about that one, but I mean, it's dancing with that line. We don't have the best view, but man, it's looking really close.
Yeah. Monitor that tomorrow. We got similar action, same bat time, same bat channel. Justin Burtis ought to be back for that one. Chases up and deposits that one to the fire station.
That's an old one that we're used to seeing.
Oh, yeah.
We're never going to get that ball back.
Again, here at Vanguard University, we have a very nice relationship with the fire department that is literally 20 feet from us. And
Do we?
oh, well, I'm sure at first it was very strenuous, but I think over time they've learned to appreciate it, as evident because every night we go over and they have the bucket of softballs that we
Okay, I guess. I
left.
was going to say, I mean, we've hit a couple cars. I don't know if it's a
Yeah,
good relationship. I guess it's just a understandable
Yeah.
relationship.
foul ball here. I guess that's a better word, an understanding.
Yeah, I'm sure the police department doesn't care about us. They're just happy they're here.
Well, they do get the redemption on us because they turn on their sirens and their lights as soon as they leave, or actually before they leave, which I thought that you wouldn't do that until you got onto the street, but they make sure that anyone who's living in the dorms here, they hear you, even if it's at 2 in the morning.
Well, I've seen them do police training inside the parking lot.
Yep.
And if you have your windows open right here,
Yep.
it's loud and proud. You hear everything that goes on.
And guess who has to stay here overnight to work these summer camps?
J.J. Johnson.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yes,
you
who
know?
doesn't?
Xander Zubiati.
That's correct. I get to go home.
And you didn't even bring me one of your dad's famous sandwiches either. On the ground of shorts. Good backhanded grab, and the throw is offline. No turn there for Gatewood. And once more, she's on base.
Yeah, it was definitely going to be a hard play like that. Gatewood just getting that off the end of the bat. Slow roller like that to Reeves. I mean, it's a bang-bang play. You see it as is. Good job by Gatewood, though, to hustle down all the way.
I believe they're going to rule that one a hit.
Oh, definitely. I'm ruling it a hit. What are you talking about? If they. I don't know whose they is. but-
Another free 60. Gatewood thinking about even more, trying to make it 120. It's another wild pitch. I tried to say they as a buffer so that the people at home, when they came over here, they didn't know who to, yell at for the stats being incorrect.
Just yell at me. I don't like Game Changer. I do not have a good relationship with Game Changer. I know it.
In case you're also tracking online, the problem with the stats is that whenever there's a wild pitch and the runner moves over, there's not an option to physically move the runner and say they advance on the wild pitch. So if they're off and you see that, that is the reason why.
I finally figured it out, though.
Okay, wonderful.
I found out that you have to click pinch runner, undo it, and then it lets me do it. So I click on
Why?
I don't know.
That seems.
I think it's a tab. I think the tab is broken or the tab is blocked, and it's stuck at some point. So I just have to quickly fix something.
We are very particular in which stat platforms we like the most. Presto and us, we have a very interesting relationship with Presto. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's, gosh, you guys are the worst. As this is going to be driven well to the gap in left field. It is going to drop. We've got a ground rule double. Man, that was about a couple feet shy of being a 2-run shot, but as it stands, it's still going to be another run coming across for the Waves.
It's a home run everywhere else,
Yep.
JJ.
You just saw an example of that as we're past the 2 o'clock mark here, an hour and 10 minutes of game time overall, but it's around this time as we talk about where the wind starts picking up. Obviously not strong enough to be a huge factor there, but still though, a big moment for the Waves to start answering back. One away still in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, and these girls are really seeing Zapata well. Nothing is fooling them. The only ones we've really seen is a couple change-ups that have just made some girls swing out in front. But other than that, everybody has timed up Zapata very well.
You know, we've been spoiled. We've had the privilege of watching Bree Williams for the last 4 years, and so, you know, it's not fair to be like, hey, you know, the strikeouts aren't there, because Bree Williams, I mean, she was spectacular. She's one of the best pitchers on the West Coast for the last 4 years, and we were privileged to have her.
Yeah, she was a top-tier pitcher. We were so lucky to even get to work these games to see it.
Hard hit. Klopp is going to send the green light, but then she gives a verbal stop late there, as you hear them have a chuckle with each other and a pat on the back as well. Runners on the corners, though, and it's another hit for the Waves. The Waves have scored in every inning thus far, exactly 3 runs. They're a third of the way there here in the third. Driven, smoked, another gapper. 1 run comes across. Klopp gives the green light, and she backs it up with the words the throw home is going to be cut off, and it is a 2-run double for Mia Alfano.
Just like we were talking about earlier, Zapata is just leaving stuff over the middle of the plate. I mean, she's a pitch-to-contact pitcher, but she's leaving a lot that these hitters are not being fooled around with. They know exactly what's coming, and they are doing damage.
Right on cue, Zuby. They are doing damage. Alfano comes home. RBI single there for Tapia. Four runs now in the bottom of the third. 3 runs in the last 2 pitches, Zuby.
It's continuing to come. It's just something different's got to change in order to even just get a misbat.
It looks like Zapata's running a little low on some gas right now. Comebacker, they get the force of 2. They're going to try to turn 2 to end the inning, and they do. But not before 4 runs come across in the bottom of the third. We're going to go to the top here in Costa Mesa. First pitch here in the top of the fourth is elevated as Zuby got a couple of fans here that made the trip out, and they are making their sentiments well heard that they are displeased with the pace that this game has been on, because we're only in the top of the fourth in a 10-6 ball game.
Got to get that pitch clock going.
Honestly, I think the pitch clock wouldn't solve anything because they're working fast. The problem is they're giving up so much contact.
That's
Are
true.
both these pitchers is.
I mean, even the home plate umpire was saying, "Hey, it's top 5, right?" We're like, "You
know-
can make it. You can make it top 5."
You know
We can
this.
make it top 5.
Another pitch elevator there is you know the game's going long when the umpire himself thinks that we're inning ahead than we actually are.
Yeah. You know that there's a, hey, are you sure that it's this inning? Now we're unsure. I don't even think I'm sure with Game Changer because I don't get along with Game Changer.
Gentleman's walk there on the 5 pitches. So Zapata has been on the more generous side of things in terms of run production. Hopefully she can be able to selfish here and start getting something going for their offense.
Well, let's see what Zapata can do with the bat. Hopefully help herself out right now.
You know, it's got to be a good feeling as a pitcher to be like, I need some runs. Oh, wait, I'm in control of this myself.
Oh, wait, let me do it myself.
Empty hack there. Good rise. Last second, good vertical movement. Obviously, a lot of times we talk about vertical movement.
It's the same thing. Veronica just like constantly scratches her. Spoiled.
Yeah. Straight heat there. Dead center, Zuby.
Yeah, and I'm liking what Petty wants to do. Petty just wants to come right after these hitters. Doesn't want to waste any time. Doesn't want to waste any more longer innings.
A beautiful sequence there. That might be the best sequence we've seen from either pitcher thus far today, and it's a pitcher-on-pitcher crime moment here. in
Yeah,
Costa Mesa.
I mean that sequence right there is just your power versus my power. Zapata, are you gonna take this heat? No, Petty's gonna come at you with just velo, and look at what she does. She gets an easy strikeout right there.
She went rise, she went straight gas inside, and then she went with a little runner that went left to right on your screen. She went right back to that runner pitch.
That's her other favorite spot.
And she goes back to, that's 3 consecutive runners that she's gone with. That time, she was able to graze the outer half.
Well, yeah, and I just like Petty just sitting up on the outer part of the plate and just finding a spot that really works for her and coming at it with a ton of velocity.
4 consecutive pitches now as she continues to go to that pitch. You think she saw something over the last couple batters in the previous inning?
Well, I think she was seeing that a lot of these girls were out in front of a lot of stuff, so
Smoked foul.
she's trying to look for something just to kind of have them sit out in front. But I mean, that's a good sequence right there. You get a slower pitch, get them way out in front, and now looking for something just to blow right by them. Probably look for something. Probably the riser. You're probably gonna get a riser coming right after them. Wouldn't be surprised though if Petty just goes back to the outer part of the plate, but most likely expect a riser.
She goes to the drop curve. But still, same idea where she was coming dead center. It was a matter of, putting it to the extreme high or the extreme low.
Yeah, probably just looking for a swing and a miss pitch right there. Kind of messing around a little bit. But now it kind of feels like you know a fastball's coming. Just see, can you attack it?
And she does attack it. It's skied high. And dropping underneath it for the Waves out in left field is Savannah Gatewood. 2 away. Reminder, it's 10-6 in favor of the Waves. We're going to go 5 innings in this one, not 7, as the last ball game of the day.
Maybe that's why the umpire was like, it's a 5th, right? I can go home after this.
Tried to dot the knees, but could not. But yeah, you're exactly right. Our umpires for today, calling balls and strikes, is Sean, and then working the field is Mike.
We also get that. We also usually get told or get to see what the umpires' names are. If only Justin Burtis wasn't such a busy man, he could have prepared us a little bit more.
If only Justin didn't.
If only Justin Burtis was single.
That's part of the reason why Justin is not here, is because his soon-to-be wife is she's getting her doctorate, so he's going to support. So a big moment for him and his soon-to-be wife.
We get in trouble for saying that.
Honestly, Justin is one of the nicest guys to ever work for Vanguard University, and the stuff that's on his plate, he deserves a day.
Yeah, but they're also nice until they're not. So
Are you talking crap on Justin?
no, I'm saying is Justin gonna be mad at us for this? Because he can't technically be mad at you because you're basically done. He'd be mad at me.
Look, I'm double dipping here. I'm supposed to be, like I said, I'm texting people as we speak about what we're supposed to do. Is this pitch is in the dirt? You know, I'm in charge of 100 kids right now, and you know, I got someone covering me, but I'm texting. He's like, "What are we supposed to do right now?" I'm like, "Oh, this week." Like, I thought I explained it.
Who's covering you? That's the real question.
TK,
I got full count.
way to be on top of your stuff, Zuby.
Yo, shout out TK. Gets the assistant coaching job and then has to cover for you.
Count is full. Squaring around the bunt, pulls back, and we will load the bases. So for the fourth consecutive inning, we have had a runner in scoring position.
I mean, just the way this has been going, it's been runners on scoring position, but a lot of them have been taking those extra bases on either pass balls or even singles that barely get into the outfield. So just a matter of, can Petty get out of this situation? You got the 2 outs, so all that matters is getting this one batter.
Elevates against Deathlefson. She goes gas on the outer half. We go even. Pulled through the right side. Coach Gabby is going to send her. And, they're going to go to 3. No tag. Now they're going to go back to 2. And she's also safe. Man, questionable decision there to not come home. It looked like they had her. There was a small hesitation in the feet there. Wow. Zuby. Tough decision making there for the Waves defensively.
Yeah, I really don't know exactly if there was any true communication. Didn't really hear much, but it seemed like we could have easily had a play at 4. But what really was an issue was the fact that that pitch was thrown to the cutoff when your right fielder and second baseman were basically next to each other. They could be holding hands, and you're making just a quick flip to them. I feel like you could have gone straight to home, if not straight to a base.
Pulled, and it is a fair ball. Inches away, and it's down the gangway. 2 more runs come across. She's thinking 3. The throw across the diamond is not going to be in time, and it's a 2 RBI triple courtesy of Avery Cordell.
Yeah, and a good job by Cordell just getting out in front of something, taking control of what Petty has been doing a good job at is basically with that fastball on the outer part of the plate. Well, make a mistake to Cordell, and she runs with it, literally.
Now going to bring up Tiana Johnson rocking 00. Crush trying to get their own chance going, but not to be. Is all of a sudden it's 10-9, and just 1 out away was Petty from getting out of this inning, and yet she just couldn't do it. 3 more runs do come across. Again, just 1 out away from returning and sending it back over to her own offense that has put up 3, 3, and 4 in the first 3 innings.
Yeah, especially now in a spot like this, they're really going to need some insurance runs.
Now conversation needs to be had. Dylan Tapia talking with Petty. You know, it's interesting here. Obviously, 4th inning, we're only going to go 5. So later in the contest, you've got to start valuing every single AB. But considering these struggles that both these pitchers have had this game, interesting to see the decision to go talk to her now of all times. Johnson didn't think so on that pitch.
It seemed a bit inside, but kind of feels like we want to make sure these girls get some swings in.
Johnson thought she walked to get on. And she does, as they clipped her foot as well, just for good measure.
Just for good measure.
Ashley Long as runners on the corners. Elevated. Got a 1-0. Driven well, and it will drop. We are tied at 10. Will there be more? Tiana Johnson is going to give it her best effort. It's a little bit of a stutter of the feet. The throw home is in time for the third out as wind is blowing everywhere. Going to give a brief pause there as, again, learned my lesson from the last time that happened. 10-10 is your score heading to the bottom of the fourth. 4 runs in response for the Crush. Detlefsen will now insert in the circle for the Crush in the bottom of the fourth as the Waves are going to try to answer the 4 runs that were just put up in the top half of the inning. First crack at it will be number 9, and that'll be grounded to third, and the outers are corded for the first out of the bottom. Sorry, once again, Beliveau, thank you. Circles us back to the top of the order, Alina Foreman. Detlefsen, big delivery, and it's pulled through the left side once more. It's another hit. Another hit for the Waves, who are into double digits offensively. Detlefsen, we see a lot of different deliveries across, the many teams that we've covered, Zuby. Detlefsen, she reminds you a little bit of the pitcher from Academy of Art, where she gets very vertical with her delivery and her arm. There's not much bend in that right elbow.
No, it kind of seems like a bit of machine work where there's very little movement around the arm except just the normal windmill that comes through. So Some people do that. It works. It works out for them. But I mean, sometimes you watch it. It looks like it hurts.
Just being that rigid.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not athletic, so I can't do it in general. But I'm just saying it looks like it hurts.
Give yourself some more credit, Zuby.
I will not.
Another pitch missed high. This is downstairs. Detlefson. Ooh, man. Close to a chin check there. Gatewood gets out of the way. It'll be a walk, putting 2 on and just the 1 out. Once again, runner in scoring position.
And the way this game's been going, you basically have to expect it now. But
I mean, I think we should just go ahead and do the extra inning rules at this point, where you start with the runner on second, because that's pretty much a guarantee
crazy.
at this point. Am I wrong?
still wild for that.
Every inning, there's been a runner on second base or further.
Still a wild comment to make. Just saying. Just saying. You might be the worst for saying that.
Oh, well, that's so kind of you.
You're welcome.
Garcia. She's been productive so far today as well as most everybody's been productive. But really the top of the order for the Waves has been doing a lot of damage. As it has started with Foreman, continued through Gatewood, Garcia, House, Alifano. Obviously 6 through 8 has not been a slouch either, but that one grazes the outer half. Little inside-out dribbler, and there's only going to be one play, and it's at 1. Both runners move up to second and third. 2 away. Brooklyn House. Takes inside, almost touched her foot. It looked like the glove actually hit her foot.
Does that count for interference in any way? I know if the batter hits the catcher, that's interference, but what about catcher hitting the batter?
You know, honestly, I don't think I've ever seen that, but there wasn't a play to be made anywhere really, so no harm, no foul.
I mean, you never see a lot of stuff until you see it.
That might be the deepest quote you have ever said.
Also the dumbest quote I might have ever said.
In the 4 years three and a half years we've been together, that might have been the most profound thing you've ever said on a microphone.
That's probably sounds right. But I've also said a lot of wild stuff.
Yes, yeah. Downstairs.
I've said a lot of out-of-the-box thinking.
But it's been good because it makes you think the game. You consider things. I've said things that you thought were out of the box and you thought I was crazy for it. And,
You make a lot of quotes that I just don't catch at first.
Oh, that ball will be quoted into the glove out in center field. Great tracking there by Macy Fuller. As for the first time today, nobody scores in 1/2 of an inning. We are tied at 10 going to the top of the 5th. Wow.
Top of the 5th inning now. Emma Foster digging into the plate. Takes that first pitch for a strike. 1-1. Foster 2 for 2 in the game with 2 singles. Looking to get this team out in front. Now tied 10-10. See that pitch for a ball. 1-1. Petty looking to have a clean inning here after giving up a couple more runs to tie this game up. Foster takes that one inside. Now 2-1. Lineup struggles after Foster. Following her, Verdugo, 0 for in the game. Got some new hitters coming into the game, so they'll be looking for the first hit. But Fuller and Zapata are both 0 for in the game, so they need to look to find something here if they're going to get some runs to take the lead going to the bottom half of the 5th. Foster earns the leadoff walk to start the top of the 5th inning. Now Kayla McGee will come in, just switched from being the DH to the first baseman. That ball in the air and pops it into shortstop. A nice play by Alfano for out number 1. First pitch to Andrea Garcia, misses outside for a ball. Petty could sure use a double play right now. Has started to show some strikeout stuff, but a good pitch as the runner goes down. And it's a stolen base for Foster. Get him out of the double play. Garcia showed bum, but was able to pull it back, so now it's 2-0 count. Gets that pitch on the inner part of the plate, called for a strike. Not something Garcia wants, especially in a 2-0 count. Garcia with a big chance right now with a runner in scoring position to take the lead for the Crush. Fouls out one on a play, and now 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Pitches in the dirt, gets by the catcher. Foster able to get to third base. Thought about going home, but will hold up. It's now 3-2 to Garcia. Away pitch right here. Looking for it right now. It's a called strike. That's my bad. I thought it was a full count. Now we're doing 3-2. Here's the pitch. And ball 4. So Andrea Garcia works the walk. That was my bad. I thought we had a full count. Nonetheless, Garcia works the walk. Now it's runners on the corners, 1 down, and Juliet Verdugo will dig into the plate. Verdugo looking for her first hit. Takes that first pitch for a strike. Verdugo taken out of catching duty last inning. So now just working as a hitter. Fouls that one off. 0-2. Garcia was looking to go, but has to hustle back to first base. Still runners on the corners. Petty getting up there in pitch count through 4 1/3 innings, 123 pitches. The 0-2. Christian Derrick gets by. Runner coming home. The throw. There won't be any throw. And Foster comes in the score to take the lead. Petty strikes out Verdugo. And now there's 2 outs with a runner on second. Stepping up for Zapata to dig into the play with a chance to extend the lead for the Crush. Fouls that one off for strike 1. Called strike on Zapata. Now 0-2. So now the EH taking out last inning from pitching duties. The 0-2 coming. Fouls off. The 0-2 again to Zapata. Pops it up in the air. First base foul territory, and that'll be out number 3 to end the inning, but not before the Crush take the lead. It is now 11-10. Down by 1, Alfano leads off the inning with a shot to right field, but a catch by Cordell for out number 1.